Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Oxford. I'm your chairman of the Greater Houston Partnership, and I'm here to welcome you to our event celebrating our International Executive of the Year. As most of you know, the Greater Houston Partnership is the primary business advocate of the 10-county region with a mandate to secure economic prosperity, short-term and long-term, through job creation, by attracting capital investment, by expanding foreign trade. And as we work on these three primary goals, we're looking more and more to foreign markets, as everyone here knows. Houston is a global city. Now, their port, airport, our businesses, and we have strong ties to international business the world around. And it's taken great leadership from a whole lot of people for a very, very long time to make that so. And for this reason, for the past 24 years, we have honored an outstanding person within the community who's displayed the global leadership that it takes to continue driving our region forward on the world stage with our award, which we believe is quite prestigious, the International Executive of the Year Award. If you look at the previous winners, which I suspect are in your program, you'll know how prestigious it is. And this year, we're presenting with the Kiwanis Club of Houston, in cooperation with the city, the port, Harris County, and the United States Department of Commerce. And we're pleased to present the award this year to Vice President David LeBron and his lovely wife, Ping. Before I give the microphone to the president of Kiwanis Club of Houston, Walter Murphy, we want to acknowledge our sponsors for today's event. These include our PhD sponsors, High Class, El Paso Corporation, and Tudor Pickering Holt & Company. Thanks, guys. And for our bachelor sponsors, Continental Airlines and Rice University. Thanks to all of you for your support. We also want to thank the members of our board of directors who are here. Without their leadership, we could not move forward. Could our board members please stand? I saw a few of you. I saw Charles Foster. Good, great. Harry, good to see you. Thank you. Dick Winerty, wonderful. I'd like to give the microphone over to Walter Murphy, president of the Kiwanis Club of Houston.
Thank you, Patrick. On behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Houston and Kiwanis International, I welcome all of you here today. I am a Rice graduate, and as such, I'm especially proud of being a part of this event today. Kiwanis is grateful also to be co-host, and we thank the Greater Houston Partnership for doing all the hard work to put this program together and all the hard work they do to promote the city of Houston to the entire world. Our Kiwanis Club has been serving Houston since 1918. That was back when the Rice Institute was only 6 years old. The organization has grown into a diverse group of men and women dedicated to volunteer service of the youth of our community. We have a foundation that contributes over $100,000 a year to a wide variety of nonprofit organizations whose mission we have in common. We are just one club in Kiwanis International out of 8,600 clubs around the world in over 80 countries with a total membership of over 250,000 members. Of the countries represented in Houston by the Consulate Corps, there are over 40 that have at least one Kiwanis Club in their country. We welcome all of our consulate guests here today. I also want you to be aware of one more important thing. It's called the Eliminate Project. This is a partnership. Kiwanis International and UNICEF have joined forces to eliminate maternal and neonatal tetanus. This deadly disease steals the lives of 60,000 innocent newborns and 30,000 mothers a year. The effects of the disease are excruciating, so to eliminate MNT from the earth by 2015, 129 million mothers and their future babies must be immunized. It will take $110 million and the dedicated work of UNICEF and the entire Kiwanis family. Thank you for letting me share our story today. and thank you again for joining us. Please welcome now, to entertain you, a longtime member of the Kiwanis Club of Houston and the Greater Houston Partnership, and one of the key people responsible for this whole event, Mr. George Donnelly.
Buenas tardes. Yo no speak English. Only Portuguese. What a great turnout we have here today. It's my privilege always to introduce the Consular Corps one by one. And with your permission, some of these names are a little bit difficult for me to pronounce in Portuguese, but I will do my best. In no particular order other than just the country from where they're from, William Crassus, the Honorable Consul General of Cyprus. And please stand. Enough applause for Bill, please. Hugh McCain, the Consul General of Belize. Richard Drake, the Honorary Consul of Estonia. I have here a gentleman whose last name I will try to pronounce. It's the Honorable Kekeda of Ethiopia, Consul General of Ethiopia. I apologize. The Honorable Philip Aronoff, Honorary Consul of Hungary. A new member to the Consular Corps, and I think everybody is going to enjoy getting to know him, Fabrizio Nava, the Consul General of Italy. The next is a friend of many of yours, Susomu Osawa, the Consul General of Japan. The next is Daryl Luthi, the Honorary Consul General of Kyrgyzstan. The next is Amin Bosali, the Honorary Consul of Lebanon. Next is a person who's been with us for some time and we hope will continue, the Honorary Consul of the Netherlands, Gerrit Visser. The next is the Consul General of Norway, Jostein Micheletun. Sorry. The next is the Honorable Youssef Ali Youssef Al Qatar, Consul General of Qatar. Next is the Honorable Nikolai Babich, Consul General of Russia. The next one is the Honorable Consul General of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Ali Hassan Al-Hashas. Mea culpa. Next is John Druselius, the Honorary Consul of Sweden. The Honorable Consul General of Turkey, Akil Okten. The next one is the Honorary Consul General of Germany, Roland Herrmann. This next to last name I always have a very difficult time with. His first name is Charles, and the last name I think is Foster, Honorary Consul of Thailand. And most important of all, which I should have started at the very beginning, is the Dean of the Consular Corps for the 92 consulates in Houston, Fatou Sall, Consul General of Senegal. Welcome to all of you. I forgot one. Could you please introduce the person? Welcome. I'm sorry, I didn't get the name. Pat Oxford said to you a little bit about, told you a little bit about the International Executive of the Year. And it truly is amazing and it's inspirational for a city of the quality and international scope of Houston to have such an outstanding array of very, very influential and very key people from throughout the world. Last year, you will remember that we honored the outgoing chairman and CEO, Larry Kellner of Continental Airlines, and you already know who will be honored this year. And we've had individuals from across the board that really make up what Houston is all about and the future of Houston. So it is my pleasure at this point in time to ask our audio folks to give us a little bit of an overview of some of the select comments made about the honorees today.
Well, I'm just always so proud as I travel around the world of how well-known and well-recognized Rice is. And President LeBron and Ping have done a tremendous amount of travel to really represent not just Rice, but the whole city on a global basis.
Collectively and individually, they've done such a fantastic job for Rice. They've represented Rice so well in the community. David got all the constituencies together and came up with a vision for Rice for the second century, and he's been implementing that beautifully. David has got a wonderful eye for talent, and he's brought some really great people into the leadership of Rice. I got to know who Ping was before anyone else in Houston because I was chairman of the Rice presidential search. And it was very clear to me early on, this was not just about recruiting David, but recruiting Ping as well.
I know Ping more closely than I know David. Ping serves on the United Way board, and she serves on our Thrive task force. And to see her face light up when we're talking about tackling tough issues like helping hardworking families achieve financial stability is just what every United Way CEO wants in a volunteer, someone who cares and is passionate, and that's what Ping is all about.
When we were looking for a president at Rice University, the last thing we were looking for was a lawyer. And yet when David came along, his remarkable academic record, his success in turning Columbia Law School around completely, was very attractive to a Rice University. And I think the one quality that we really wanted was his ability to basically rethink where we are and where we need to go. And his core of his vision was that Rice needed more than anything else to become an international university. A university whose graduates could live and work anywhere in the world with people from any cultures. And I think that, to that extent, it has been a big success and has had a huge impact on Houston as well.
Several years ago, David reached out to me and to other leaders in the Latino community to suggest that we all get together to talk about issues facing the community and what we can all do to solve those concerns. We were surprised because no one had ever approached the Latino community like that. And this was many years ago before diversity was such a common interest. So we were very impressed, and we all went to the meeting. It was very productive, it was open, very friendly, and I think it was a big success. And other institutions have sort of taken on that model as well.
Clearly, both David and Ping are deserving of the International Executive of the Year award because what they have done together really to raise the international profile of Rice, and by doing so of the city of Houston. It's not an exaggeration to say that during the tenure of David Lebron as president and ably assisted by Ping, that Rice has become, is on the map in China now thanks to their mutual efforts.
David and Ping exude Houston. When you meet them, you know immediately that you're received by warmth, by affection, by friendship. They literally symbolize the warmth and openness that Houston and the business community have always had. They moved here in 2004 and immediately fit right in because of who they are. David and Ping love their family. And as a result of being such warm individuals, they're natural ambassadors for the university and for our region.
David and Ping have brought new awareness to this region with respect to international education. I know that they both are very committed to higher education and internationalism. We have had an opportunity to share that interest in Washington at a World Summit. I also know that Ping has been very gracious in hosting a Chinese delegation who recently came to Houston, and we hosted. So we've had those opportunities. So I applaud their support, and I'm here to congratulate them on this award.
Given on behalf of numerous organizations, firstly, the Greater Houston Partnership, the Kiwanis Club of Downtown, the City of Houston, very ably represented by our Mayor, Anise Parker, County Judge, the Port of Houston, the U.S. Department of Commerce, and all have recognized the role of Houston as a major international city, and we've come together for these past 24 years to recognize outstanding individuals, 4 of whom are with us right now. Let me have them stand and be recognized. Dr. Dick Weinerty, President of the Texas Medical Center. Joe Hafner, in his then capacity of Riviana Foods, now President of the Ballet and numerous other institutions. Joe? A dear friend of many of ours who hasn't been around Houston most recently, but she's come in especially for this, Cheryl Thompson Draper. And then an individual that has truly made the Chinese community grow by leaps and bounds and has been the president of the Metro Bank, Don Wang. Enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back right after lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, if you all would continue with your lunch and let us continue with the program, I'm going to complete a couple of consul generals who showed up. The one that I did not have, but now I have her card, Alexandra Tholodopoulou, the Consul General of Greece. And another very dear friend, the Consul General of Peru, Carlos Polo. At this time, I'd like to have you see the second segment video following the one that you saw just before.
David and Ping, from the first time I met you at the Chinese Community Center banquet to this present day, you have exhibited a welcoming spirit, a desire for academic excellence, and a true care and concern for our community. You make Houston an opportunity city. On behalf of the United Way of Greater Houston and all the people we serve, thank you. And congratulations for the stars that you are.
Congratulations, David and Ping, on being this year's International Executives of the Year. It's truly an award that's deserved both individually and jointly.
You're a truly global couple. You've made a huge difference, not just for Rice, but for Houston and for Texas. And we thank you for that.
Congratulations on this terrific award and incredible recognition. It is so well deserved and so fitting for all that you've done in the community and everyone you've benefited and touched. Congratulations to both of you, and we look forward to working with you for many years to come.
And even more congratulations on the wonderful job you've done at Houston and at Rice. We all love you and want the very best for you, and we also want you to stay here another 10 or 15 years. Thank you.
Congratulations, David and Ping, for being named 2010 International Executive of the Year.
I'm sure everyone who knows you would agree with me that your presence in Houston over the last 6 years has meant so much to us personally. It's meant so much to Rice University. It's meant so much to Houston. You're just two extraordinary, totally unforgettable people. And I'm looking forward, after having this occasion, I'm looking forward to celebrating, David, your 15th anniversary as president of Rice with Ping right there with you.
You two are one of my favorite teams in Houston, and that's because you inspire all of us. David, that idea that you and the board had to build a collaborative research center tying Rice University to the Texas Medical Center, that's going to carry Houston for many, many decades to come. I'm so inspired I still have my helmet from the topping out ceremony. And Ping, your inspiration to me was on our most recent trade mission with Mayor Parker to China. I went out and bought my very own Mandarin language book. You guys are awesome. David and Ping, God bless you, and thank you for what you do to inspire all of us.
Great video. Great video. And our thanks to production partner Vision Production Group for their help in getting the two videos together. We'd also like to thank our staging and webcast partners, LD Systems. By coincidence, that company was started by two Rice students. I think they're here, and we're looking forward to continuing to work with them. And I also have the pleasure to introduce James A. Baker III, who's here to introduce the winners and selectees for the International Executive of the Year. I'm under strict orders from Secretary Baker to keep the introduction very brief, but I'm going to make 2 points about Jimmy. I was thinking about yesterday, contemplating this meeting. We all know that he's done many things for our country. But I was thinking about our executive branch of government, and other than the President of the United States, I think most students of the executive branch or historians would say that there are really 4 top jobs in the executive branch. Secretary of Defense, of course. The Secretary of the Treasury, who is the face of and helps coordinate both our fiscal policy and our monetary policy with the Fed. Our Secretary our Chief of Staff of the White House, who has the very, very difficult job of getting the President across that Rubicon between good policy and effective politics. And then, of course, the Secretary of State, who's our face around the world. All of these jobs require different knowledge bases. They require different people skills. But Jimmy Baker has held 3 of those jobs for our country, uniquely so. And the other thing I wanted to say about Jimmy was that I've been blessed to observe him interact personally with presidents of the United States. And I've also seen him interact personally with ranch hands in South Texas and dog handlers, bird guides. And in all of those interactions, all ends of what some may say is a spectrum of importance, not to Jimmy, he has the same focus, same compassion, same easy humor. It's really quite remarkable to see. It's my great honor to introduce James A. Baker III.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please sit down. Please, please, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pat, very much for that refreshingly different introduction. You did what I asked you to do, and I'm grateful to you for it. Mayor Parker, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, and other distinguished guests who are here today, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and indeed an honor for me to join you as you acknowledge 2 extraordinary individuals, as we've just heard in the tributes you've seen on the television. Since taking over at Rice University in 2004, David Leebran has worked to consolidate Rice's reputation as one of our nation's very finest institutions of higher education. He has moved to build even closer ties between the university and the local community here. And perhaps most strikingly of all, I think, he has accelerated the pace of Rice's emergence as a truly global institution. Wai Ping Sun has been far more than a helpmate in this process. She has been a very full and active partner. Ping serves as university representative in numerous roles on campus and in the Houston community. And she has played a very special part in Rice's ongoing efforts to expand the university's ties to Asia. As you all know, my personal association with Rice University is deep and abiding. My grandfather, Captain James Baker, served on Rice's Board of Trustees for a half a century. As a matter of fact, he was the first chairman of the Board of Rice's Trustees. And I myself was honored to be a trustee for almost 9 years. And of course, Rice has been home now for 17 years to the Public Policy Institute that bears my name. One of Rice's great strengths as an institution, I think, has been the quality of its presidential leadership, beginning with the legendary Edgar Odell Lovett. When I first met David and Ping, I was very, very impressed. And not just because David was a lawyer, as I am, and not just because Ping went to Princeton, as I did. They were very smart, they were very savvy. Above all, they possessed that combination of high ideals and down-to-earth pragmatism, which I think is the hallmark of effective leadership. My esteem for these two individuals has only grown with the years. Soon after coming to Rice, David issued a call for conversation to the Rice and broader Houston community for help in developing a vision for the university's future. The result, a vision for Rice University's second century, was released in early 2006. That document lays out a vision of a university that builds on past achievements while seizing the opportunities offered by a world where borders grow less significant every year. Like this great city, Rice looks forward to the future with optimism. And like Houston, the university also looks out to the world beyond with confidence, just as our city does. In short, I would submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that Rice University embodies the spirit of Houston. And today's honorees just as surely embody the spirit of Rice University. They are extraordinarily worthy recipients of this year's award for International Executives of the Year. Now, Ping and David, if you would join me up here, I would appreciate it. You're on, George. You're on. You're sure welcome.
Let me ask Mayor Parker, please, Pat Oxford, Walter, to come on up. I would like the mayor to start by giving her proclamation to the honorees.
I have attended this event in the past, and it is always a treat to come and honor the International Executive of the Year, but clearly today is of special significance to those of us with deep ties to Rice University. And if you look around the room, you see a liberal sprinkling of Rice alums out there. I was struck in the introductory video and in some of the remarks since then at the way the two of you are referenced by virtually everyone. The phrase well matched comes to mind. It's hard to think of either of you without the other, and yet you have distinct personalities. Actually, Ping has the personality, but that's another subject. You are both it has been a treat to get to know you. It is an honor to be able to work with you. This is one of those situations where having two lawyers instead of one is actually a benefit. There aren't very many situations like that. And this is absolutely a situation where the city of Houston is better and richer for the fact that you have chosen to make your home here, that you have chosen not just to focus your attention on the university, which is your job, but you have also reached out to the city that surrounds that university and helped open both the university and our city to the rest of the world. I have a long and rather dry proclamation. Let me simply say that on behalf of the citizens of Houston, I thank you for your service, and that I have the pleasant privilege to proclaim today David and Yiping Sun Day in the city of Houston.
Judge Emmett has asked me to present to David and Ping on behalf of the county a proclamation as well. I think if Judge Emmett was here, Mayor, you're a good friend, he would say likewise. And so citizens of Houston, citizens of our county, we thank you so much.
We're going to make the award presentation, but I do want to take a point of personal privilege because this is all Rice, and there is a gentleman here who's a classmate of mine from Georgetown University by the name of Ambassador Edward Derigian. I was one of the youngest graduates of Georgetown University, and he was one of the older ones. We were in the same class, and we just had our reunion, which I think was the 70th reunion, didn't we? Was it 50th? 80th reunion. We have these awards, Mayor and Pat, to present to Ping and to they come off, so we have to. I'll take that from you. Okay.
It's quite handy if they get angry, they can throw them at somebody.
I promise not to throw it.
The stage is all yours.
Okay.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary, for your gracious and generous remarks and introduction of us. If my father understood English, he would have believed you. Houston is an amazingly diverse and international city of more than 92 consulates. In addition to being the capital of oil and gas, having the largest medical center in the world, and having an incredible space industry, the biggest asset Houston has is its people. Looking around, I see so many of our mentors and role models sitting in the audience who are more deserving than us for this honor. Like many other immigrants, I'm eager to contribute to our country. And I am very grateful to all of you to welcome us when we first came to Houston with open arms. It's fair to say it is all of you who inspired us to engage with the city. We are very grateful to be at Rice. I've treasured my opportunities to assist David to realize the vision of the second century for Rice, making Rice an integral part of the city and more international at the same time. This year, I have the good fortune to make 3 trips to China to promote St. John's School, Rice University, and City of Houston. I was especially honored to be a member of the Houston City delegation to China, led by Mayor Parker, and some of the fellow delegates are here today. So this is a very humbling experience standing up here receiving this award. It means so much to me. You're honoring both David and me. I'm so lucky to have a very supportive husband and who urges me to be actively involved in our community. Thank you, David. I also like to take this opportunity to thank Secretary Baker. Thank you for your leadership. I want to thank Judge Emmett, Mayor Parker, Tracy, Pat, Walter, George, and everyone in the video for their kind words about David and me. I could hardly recognize ourselves. So just want to say thank you from my bottom of my heart. I want to thank my colleagues and friends from both Rice University and the law firm of Yetta Coleman for their encouragement and support. I want to thank my parents and sisters for their love and support. And we want to thank the Greater Houston Partnership, Kiwanis Club of Houston, the City of Houston, Harris County, the Port of Houston Authority, and the U.S. Department of Commerce for this honor. Congratulations to all prior recipients of this honor. Actually, George was so modest. When he was up here, he didn't mention the fact that he himself was one of the prior recipients of this award. And with this award today, you are encouraging us to do even more, to work even harder to make our city a more international place for everyone. Now, I will leave it to David, no pressure, to say something profound.
Since Ping is so much younger than I am, she does not need notes. I do. I think the only true statement so far that's been made was the mayor's about where the personality in this particular marriage is. Now, my mother, like most good mothers, who I also want to thank, had always said, you know, if you don't have something nice to say about somebody, just don't say anything at all. But she had added something that seems relevant today, second rule. And that, she said, you know, David, if other people are saying something nice about you, you should just be quiet, because if you speak, you're likely to change their mind. Now, I'm actually pretty used to getting things that I don't deserve, beginning, of course, with my wife. I was asked to speak for 45 minutes, but since I have a plane to catch to Dallas, I am not going to. But I am truly honored, and more than that, truly moved, because this is something I care, in fact, very deeply about. In fact, I think it's fair to say that if I hadn't thought Houston was a great international city, I would have never considered moving here. For me, of course, internationalism begins at home, often not understanding the language at the dinner table. From the age of 13, being engaged with people from other cultures and countries has been a real passion, a defining feature of my experience in my life. This recognition is for, quote, best international leadership among the Houston business leadership. In some ways, that is surprising, because although Rice is a $500 million enterprise, it is not a business in the usual sense. But we do think we add something important to our city and we are indeed becoming more international. If you'll permit me just one statistic, in just a few years we have gone from less than 3% of our undergraduate student body being foreign students to more than 12% of our undergraduates being foreign students. And if you don't think that matters economically, foreign students bring to the United States each year $17.6 billion to our economy. And I want to take a moment, and I won't name them all by name, and thank all of my colleagues at Rice who are represented by the Rice table here. These are the folks who make anything at all happen at Rice, assuredly, as most of my faculty will tell you, not the president. But what this is really about is, in fact, what makes the city of Houston great and a great place to live. And a big part of that is its international spirit, and indeed, I think, its international soul. And as Ping said, the prior recipients who we so much admire, and at least I don't feel worthy in their footsteps, how much they have contributed to that spirit. But no one really has contributed more, I think, than Secretary Baker and the Baker Institute, which carries his name. As you heard, Secretary Baker, of course, has contributed immeasurably to our nation. But I also hope that Houston will never forget what a difference he has made for the reputation and success of our city. Now, as Ping said, there are so many other people who, much more than we do, make Houston an international city and an international destination. A lot of this is just really because of their sheer excellence that brings attention to our city and institutions. People who we are privileged to call our friends, people like Mark Wallace at Texas Children's, like John Mendelson at MD Anderson, Peter Marzio at the Museum of Fine Arts, Joel Barsh at the Museum of Natural Science, a whole raft of people like that across this city, bringing international experiences to the people of Houston and showing the world what Houston has to offer. And I want to make a point, and it is in some sense a personal point of privilege, about what immigrants contribute to our city. Immigrants in every walk of life, but also, importantly, leaders in making Houston international. People like Renu Khator at the University of Houston, or Joseph Helfenstein at the Menil, or Don Wong at Metro Bank, or Hans Graf at the Symphony, or Yao Ming, and indeed a good part of the Houston Rockets team. And we all owe, I think, a debt of thanks to the leadership of our energy companies, who really contribute to making this city an international capital, and to those who run the port and the airports, and in fact the restaurants and the markets which make us so international. And I want to add my appreciation, and I feel I can never say this enough, to our consular corps, and I will say it means so much to me and Ping that so many of you are here with us today. And the mayor, who has reached out internationally and to our consular corps and made it known that that is so much an important part of her mandate. These are the people who are making Houston one of the most cosmopolitan cities in our country, a city in which you have an international culture and a city which is connected to the world. We are grateful for the recognition we have received today, but so much more grateful for what so many people are doing who are making Houston the kind of city that we and others who take a broad view of the world would like to live in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, David and Ping, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. My name is Tracy McDaniel. I'm the Executive Vice President and COO of the Greater Houston Partnership. There's one other group we'd like to thank for collaborating with us today. That is the Sullivan Group. Thank you for putting on this event and working with our team. Also, thanks to the GHP team who did an outstanding job today. And there's one other thing. For those of you who are in our audience who are not members of the Greater Houston Partnership, Partnership, we would like to encourage you to go to our website at houston.org. I want to thank you all for joining us, and go out and make it a great day.